Plastic pollution of the ocean is one of the major environmental concerns of our time. Plastics that go into the ocean eventually get washed up on beaches, and the dynamic action of the waves and the sand break the plastic down into pieces of microplastic. Cleaning the beaches is an obvious win in terms of cleaning up the environment and making the beaches more presentable, and more importantly, removing the microplastics which could end up getting into the aquatic life. Traditionally, people have tried to remove pieces of plastic from beach sand by sieving using a screen, a mesh with certain hole size. The problem with that is that as the plastics get broken down, the particles end up the same size as the sand. Therefore, whilst sieving removes the large plastic particles, the fine microplastics pass through the screens and stay with the sand. An alternative approach people have used is to put the sand and the microplastics into a float sink tank full of water and hopefully use the water to float off the plastic. The problem with that is some of the more dense plastics that we use in our products actually sink in water, and therefore it's not possible to separate them just using a float sink tank. So based on those limits of particle sizes and the density differences of the plastic, we've adopted a different approach to removing the microplastics. By fluidizing a column of sand with seawater, we create an environment in which all the plastics actually float on the top of the mixture and can be separated from the top of the machine. The advantage of this approach are that we are using the materials available on the beach, namely the sand and the seawater, to create an environment in which we can remove the microplastics. And that's what our prototype machine does. It takes a mixture of sand and water with the microplastics, creates this dense medium in which the plastics float off the top, and the clean sand is removed from the bottom of the machine and returned to the beach. We've tested this process with various different types of plastic, and have got enough pilot information to demonstrate the project at full scale. And that's the next stage of our business, is to develop a full-scale machine that can run along the beach, skim up the plastics and the sand, and separate them and put the sand back on the beach. Thank you.